Welcome back to Cowboys OT. Ezekiel Elliott with just 51 yards on the ground. He was a little banged up in the loss to the Denver Broncos, but overall, the Cowboys never got the ground game going. Just 78 total rushing yards. Here's what Zeke had to say following the loss.
Did it feel, especially in the first half, did it feel like y'all had a problem getting into rhythm on offense today?
I think we did. I think, we came out. We didn't play very well at all. We didn't execute. Just got to go back to work.
Hindsight's 20/20, but can you think of anything this week? Was practice sloppy? How did you feel coming into this versus how you feel right now?
We felt ready. We felt prepared going into this game. But at the end of the day, they were more physical than us, and, we didn't execute good enough.
What happened with your right knee?
Just something I've been dealing with past couple weeks. Just guy landed on it.
Is that a heating pad that you have on the bench?
Yeah.
Did it help? Because you were still playing there late in the game.
It helped just to keep it warm, and that's just the biggest thing, keeping it warm, and yeah.
What is your best explanation for the team being flat? It seemed both sides, everybody.
I don't know if I have an explanation. I just think that we came out, we didn't execute very well. They were more physical than us, and we can't do that.
You averaged 5 yards a carry in this game. It didn't seem like the run wasn't working, but is that just tied to the fact that you can't run as much when you're trailing that big, or how did you think it went versus what you saw of them before the game?
I think we ran the ball. We ran the ball all right today. But I think, just all together, offensively, we got to all do better. We got to protect the quarterback better. We got to be more physical. We got to execute.
How do you keep that balance, Zeke, inside the locker room as one of the team leaders, that you're never as good as your best game and you're also not as bad as your worst game?
Just holding everyone accountable, just making sure everyone's held accountable, making sure that, just doing all the right things, making sure that we're doing what we need to do to go win football games.
It looked like y'all were going to get a really big break with the block punt at the beginning of the third. When something like that happens, especially when you're already trailing, how is it hard to overcome that from a mental aspect where you're like, damn, maybe it's just not our day?
That sucked. It sucked that we didn't get the ball right there. But I think us together, we gotta, we can't be mentally, like we can't catch a break. We gotta go and play the cards that we were dealt, and not worry about things we can't control. Worry more about just how we play and how we execute.
When across the board, it seemed like there were a lot of mental lapses on offense. Does that kind of have a cumulative effect where, whether it's a drop pass or a penalty at the wrong time, does that wear on you after a while when y'all can't kind of get a rhythm going?
I don't know if it has a cumulative effect, but I just think we got to play better. We got to go execute. We got to make plays, and I think that's it.
After 6 consecutive wins and 7 well-played games, including the season opener, was it maybe a sense of the team just thought it would happen again and going through the motions, or how do you? I know I've already asked you how do you explain it, but do you have any other guesses as to?
No, I don't think we came out thinking we already had the game in the bag. I just think that we didn't play good football. We did not play well, and that's simple. We gotta just get back to work. We gotta learn from this loss, and pick back up next week.
It's been a long time, obviously, since you were in college, but do you ever, I don't want to say forget, but the gap between playing well and getting your butt kicked is so thin in the NFL. Does that ever stray from your mind, I guess, just compared to college football and the way you can kind of overcome that with talent sometimes?
No, I don't think it does. I think we know every week that we're going to be playing a pro football team, and that we need to be on our stuff so things like today don't happen. And so we just got to learn from this, get in the film room, and come out better next week.
So there are the thoughts from Ezekiel Elliott following the 30-16 loss to the Broncos. Back here with Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback. And Nate, I'll start with you. The poor ground game today for the Cowboys, it's been quite some time since we've seen them struggle like this. But was this in direct correlation with the struggles on the offensive line?
Definitely. I mean, like I said, you got to have continuity when you're playing on that offensive line. They didn't have that today. More importantly, they played a more physical brand of football. I think when they didn't wasn't successful on the 4th and 2 and 3 plays like that right there, it builds confidence for your offensive line. If you can be successful in that right there. So it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, these guys didn't play with any form of confidence at all. I mean, you saw it. I mean, Nate just alluded to it. These guys were 0 for 3 on 4th down, I believe. So you had the coaches trying to initiate some form of confidence, right, trying to instill something in them, and they just didn't execute. Offensively, on the offensive line, they had Collins that showed up and played his first, real snaps here since the first game of the season. And then you had, Terrence Steele, who had to switch over to the opposite side. These guys were not in sync. They were being out physical. These guys were coming down from secondary and playing upfield. These guys just weren't ready to play. They need to regroup.
Yeah, it definitely seems like just an off day all around. And you heard David Hellman ask the question about the blocked punt. And was that just one of those times where you look at it and you say, it's just not our day? Well, Zeke said you can't think that way, but you got to think that was definitely on the minds of the Cowboys, because at that point they had an opportunity to get back in the game. When we come back, I'm sure we'll hear about that and much more from head coach Mike McCarthy with more Cowboys OT. Coach Mike McCarthy having to deal with a loss for the first time since week 1 of the 2021 season. 6-game win streak snapped for the Dallas Cowboys. Here's his thoughts at the podium following the 30-16 loss.
David?
This game was so uncharacteristic of how you performed really on both sides of the ball. Just what do you attribute that to?
Well, I mean, first, I have to give Denver, credit for, they came in there. They had tremendous adversity that they faced coming into this game. Had concern Wednesday, as far as, the way we've come off some successful weeks, and, the message was don't take the cheese, and frankly, we were outcoached, we were outplayed all the way through. So this is the first time I felt clearly our energy didn't exceed our opponent, and that's disappointing. But they came in aggressively. If you look at the way their defense played us from the start, they challenged our receivers, they challenged the box. they clearly were going to take away the run and, put it on the passing game. And, we didn't respond to that. Their run offense was significant, particularly yards after contact. So these are basics, things that felt like we were improving on. Just sitting there, before I came in here, just why does that happen to your team? Those are things that you're always focused on. But maybe I've overcoached the penalties this week. Because we had so many. We all know where our numbers are, but we just weren't. We weren't the more physical team today, and I thought it showed up, and I give them a lot of credit.
Do you think they got any? You had 2 4th downs you went for in the first quarter, the one in your territory, then the one passed up a field goal. Failing those, do you think that gave them some energy, gave them some belief?
I mean, momentum. We talk about momentum swings all the time, and I think it's important to respond to all the momentum swings, especially if you have it, what do you do with it? And then frankly, when the opponent has it, how do you respond to it? So, I mean, the decisions, they're good. I'm fine with the decisions. We didn't, the execution, particularly, I think they, on the first one, they had better defense than we had play called, and we had penetration in the A gap, and couldn't get the ball to the edge on the outside zone. So they came in aggressive. Their plan was, you could see it right away, and we just never got going.
How do you characterize Dak's performance today?
I thought he had a tough uphill day. I thought particularly his match man game. There wasn't a lot of completions as far as readily available as some prior contests. So like I said, I thought they did a really good job challenging our perimeter and pressing our tackles.
2 weeks without any live game action for Dak. How did that impact him today?
Well, I mean, I think it's like anything. The speed of the game is something you can't replace. And frankly, the fourth quarter was a conscious effort to keep him in there for the 2-minute work. That's something that if I was looking at all the situation and work that we've done and the commitment that you put to each situation, we needed that work. So I was happy to see us have some 2-minute production, just because that's something I think we definitely can carry forward out of this game.
You mentioned the offense.
So you hear an echoing theme throughout some of the early press conferences here that this was not just another loss. I mean, this was a thumping from the Denver Broncos to the Dallas Cowboys. They put up 30 unanswered points, and then the Cowboys tacked on a couple touchdowns late. But what contributed to the slow start going into the week? Was it preparation? Was it mindset? What leads to a loss like this, Barry?
To me, it's got to be mindset, because you go out there, you're the more talented team. You're supposed to go out there and dominate, and that's what we've done a good job so far this season, is going out there and beating the teams that we're supposed to beat. So going into this game, you got Dak Prescott back. Everybody's kind of feeling themselves. We're getting ready to throw it up against the Broncos. We're going to destroy them. But then what we did was we gave them life. That 4th and 1 that we didn't do. I mean, we had another 4th and 2 that we didn't get converted, and we made them feel like they belong on the same field as the Dallas Cowboys. And at the end of the day, they proved that they were available to go against us. They put up 30 unanswered, and this was a rough one. This was more than just a bump in the road.
I just believe that you read the clippings, you hear no more Von Miller, Bradley Chubb's on IR. This defense can be had. The offensive line is not who they're supposed to be. 3 new guys.
Mm-hmm.
The running backs is Gordon the same guy? Well, who is this young Williams? Well, 190 yards later, and playing a little bit more physical and building up momentum and feeling themselves. Hey, they had a great game.
What was a loss that you guys experienced that was kind of like this one, where you don't really want to remember it, but you definitely do?
Oh, I had a loss a lot worse than this, and it resulted in a guy getting fired. I mean, we went up to Green Bay Monday night. It was prime time against Aaron Rodgers, and we got ourselves beat down 45-3. The very next day, Jerry Jones came into that team meeting room and decided that, Wade's going to be out as coach, and here comes JG. So I've been there. I understand how it feels to get beat down like that.
Yeah, I've been there too, and it was the same game where it was a block punt And the guy touched it past the line of scrimmage, and it cost us a game against the great Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins, but we sucked it up and went and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, hey, maybe that's what the Cowboys have to do here. You have to put this in the rearview mirror.
Right.
You can't let this linger into Week 10 and then so on and so forth. The Cowboys will look to get back at it later this week. But when we come back, we hear from one of the defenders who had actually a really good game, Micah Parsons, for the second straight week, putting up big numbers. We hear from the rookie next. Now 2 straight weeks for Micah Parsons in double-digit tackles as he combines for 10 tackles overall. He also added 2.5 sacks, matching his season total up to this point and getting to 5 on the campaign. Here's what the rookie had to say following the game.
Micah, this performance defensively seemed uncharacteristic from you guys as a group this year. Can you just talk about what happened and what you felt you didn't do out there as a group?
I feel like we ain't stopped the run as well as we did last week. I feel like I feel like Denver played a really good job, really good game plan for us, and today I just felt like we just got out hit today.
When you say good game plan, what did they do that you weren't expecting them to do?
I just think they just came out and played harder than we did. I think Denver really came here and they was ready to play. I feel like we just got to do better all around.
Was that strange to be a part of, given how your team has been playing this year, to look up and it's 30-0?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we rely so much on each other, offense, defense, and we complement each other really well. But, you know, today was just one of those days, and I think this is a great opportunity to learn. Look at season when everything's going really good and we're winning and winning. When you get stunned, it's a good opportunity to learn and grow. So it's a good thing it happened now, and now we got a chance to go into it, look what the mistakes we made, and learn and grow for the long games that we got left.
How stunning was it for the defense? You got to get the block punt, thinking you made a play, and then they get the ball back because the touching, and then you give up that 30-yard run. It seemed like Williams was tackled and his kid.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff hurts. Like, I just felt like we couldn't get no momentum. We couldn't get anything going. And, that stuff really just sucks. But at the end of the day, you got to bend, don't break. Things like that is going to happen. And we got to hanker down and try to get the ball back. I mean, there's just no excuses out there today. I don't think we was tired. We just got beat, man. I think that's the nature of the game. That's the thing about football. Any given Sunday, you can get beat and say it was our day.
Like you mentioned, things have been going well for you guys. 6-game win streak. People started to talk about this team as the best team in the NFL after the win last week in Minnesota. Do you feel like you guys were maybe feeling yourselves a little too much? Did that factor into losing today?
No, not at all. I mean, I just think they played really, really good. And I think they didn't get our best game, and there's no excuses why they didn't get our best game, but we're going to learn and we're going to grow and we're going to keep going into that right direction, and that's the great thing about this game. Next week we got a better opportunity to be dominant. This game don't define us, it just makes us grow. So we got next week, and we're going to try to go 1-0 again.
One positive in the game was your ability to get to the quarterback personally. How much has that part of your game grown as you've gotten more and more of an opportunity to do that here in the NFL this season?
I think, it all starts with the details throughout the week. Coach Q puts a lot of time with me throughout the week, dialing up rush plans, dialing up individual time with me. So I think each week I'm getting better and better, and I'm learning more about being a pass rusher, timing, things like that. And I think it's just really growing for me, and it's going to keep adding to our game plan.
Michael, this was the first game that y'all have gotten down as a team by so many points. How different does it feel as a defense when you're trying to come back and you're on the field for over 40 minutes?
I mean, obviously it was a much longer game for us, but we got to find a way to get off the field. I mean, there is no excuse for that. It's things that, we practiced on and we didn't execute. That's the thing. You got to have a game plan. Everything could be well throughout the week, but at the end of the day, you got to go out there, execute, and dominate. And I don't think we was able to do that today.
Just not your day, huh?
It's just not my day. But I got a new puppy, and I'm gonna go home to him, and we're going to cuddle about it.
A lot of teams aren't built to run like they are, but what they were able to do today, would you anticipate teams would try to do the same sort of thing against this defense going forward?
Maybe. Bring it. We're going to get better. We'll be ready.
What's your puppy's name?
I named him Sachi. Yeah.
Hey, I like that. What kind is it?
It's a bowl boar.
One more time?
A bowl boar. Bowl boar. They're from South Africa.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So there's a unique press conference from the rookie Micah Parsons. While the Broncos were stung by the Cowboys were stung by the Broncos today, Micah was able to kind of avoid that a little bit. And he was talking about his new puppy, but he was more of a dog on the field today. 2.5 sacks. Found his way into the backfield on multiple occasions. What did you think of the rookie's performance and really how he's played over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think Micah was one of the bright spots we had on defense this afternoon. His sideline-to-sideline speed continues to show out there. And look, this guy, he's great in coverage. He's great versus the run. And what he does is he affects the game on all levels. He can go back in coverage and affect your passing, or he can come up there and stonewall you at the line of scrimmage. And what he did to me that was impressive, without being on the defensive line, he still was able to get after the quarterback with 2 sacks out there today. So I think the sky's the limit with this guy. He just has to keep improving on the little things, and I think he can be a great linebacker going forward.
Yeah, I love this guy, man, at the second level. I mean, he can stop your quarterback by blitzing. He can stop your running back by getting out into the swing routes and running sideline to sideline. He can stop your screen routes by going ahead and seeing these guys and avoiding offensive linemen. This dude is an absolute terror for defenses. For offenses. He is obviously an impact player for us on this side of the ball. He's going to continue to improve. You see him continue to work with Coach Quinn, digest, and continue to download this information and keep adding on to his game. I'm excited to see where he ends up being.
He won NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. He might be in that conversation again after 2.5 sacks and 10 tackles. The rookie Micah Parsons, since the bye week, has been one of the best defenders in the NFL. Let's hear from Dak Prescott. When we come back after the break, we'll hear from QB1 and what exactly went wrong on the offensive side of the football. Cowboys fall to the Denver Broncos in Week 9 of the NFL season, 30-16. The final score, 232 passing yards for Dak Prescott in the loss, most of that coming in the second half. Here's what he had to say at the podium following the loss on what went wrong on the offensive side of the ball.
Dak, after the way you and this team have performed this year, how do you explain what happened today?
We got beat. We got thumped in every aspect of the game, especially on offense. Didn't get it going. I mean, we scored a couple of touchdowns there in late time, but I mean, never got going. I missed some throws. We didn't throw and catch the ball as we normally do, and wasn't our best performance by any means. Obviously, our worst of the year. And credit to those guys. I mean, it's the NFL. Those guys get paid to do this and play at a high level, and they came in here and were more prepared for this game and did a great job, did better than we did, and just beat us, plain and simple.
Dak, how did 2 weeks away from real game speed, how did that impact you today?
I mean, obviously, I wasn't as clean as I normally am, or as I have been. Tough to say and blame that. I mean, I spent a lot of time off and came back in the first game different, so I'm not going to sit there and blame 2 weeks when I had a great week of practice that I had under my belt coming into this one. I just missed some throws, and we just weren't our normal selves in the passing game, and when we needed to be, we didn't execute.
How does your calf feel now, and how did it hold up during the game?
Held up fine. It was great. I mean, did a lot of moving, did a lot of scrambling there, getting outside of the pocket. No issues. Hadn't felt it. I'm fine.
What things did they do that caused you the most problems?
I mean, they were more physical than us. I think this is the first time all year that we weren't the more physical team. But to say that they did something we weren't expecting or we weren't ready for, to say that they did something to stop us, they're more physical. We didn't execute, as I said. We didn't throw in catches the way we've done all season long. And on those third downs and even in the fourth downs when we needed to execute, I missed a throw. We dropped some passes, and we weren't clean. And it starts with me, and we'll be able to move forward from this and learn from this. But credit to those guys.
How shocked are you that you guys had a performance like this? We are flat.
One more time.
How shocked are you to have a performance like this as a team?
Yeah, I mean, definitely shocked. As I said, they whooped us on every aspect. They beat us, and that's not something you ever think about or ever envision happening. But something we'll learn from. We'll learn from every aspect of it: offense, defense, special teams, situationally, especially. And we've just got to be better. We've got to play a cleaner game. We've got to start faster in a noon game like this. And they did a better job at it and got on us fast. And we were playing from behind, and we weren't able to do anything.
Did you feel it was important for you to stay in all the way to the end because the offense was struggling so much and you needed to kind of get something going into the next game?
Say the beginning of that?
The fact that, I mean, you're coming off an injury, but you play right through till the end. Was part of that because the offense was struggling so much and you guys needed to get something going? Or this?
I mean, there was a game left out there to be played. I don't think never crossed my mind that I was coming out of the game. And I think if somebody would have tried to make that decision, I would have told them I wasn't. We needed to get something going. We needed to get some energy, some momentum. We need to show our fight, our resiliency, something that's won us a lot of games. And when we're getting beat like that, you've got to show your character. And I think that starts with all of us staying in the game and fighting to the end and trying to get some momentum or something going just to take from this game. And I never thought about ever coming out of that.
You had a 4th and short. I don't know if it slipped out your hands or it was tipped, but it was uncharacteristic of you. What happened on that play then?
Yeah, I don't think it was tipped. I think I got ready to throw it on the crossing route, saw the guy's hands up, and I think I just tried to change my arm angle at the last second and threw it at his ankles. And at that point, I mean, was hoping said maybe made a catch, but I mean, I don't miss those throws. Those are throws that I've worked on a long time, whether I'm moving my feet or whether I'm not able to get my back leg through or just finding a way to make that throw is something that, as I said, I work hard on. And it pisses me off when I miss a throw like that, and that's a big 4th down early in the game that we can keep going and move forward and get a touchdown. I think it just changed the whole way that this game plays and goes from there if I complete that and we were able to stay on the field on 4th down.
So no surprise there from Dak Prescott, taking a lot of ownership through the loss, and you're going to see that from quarterback one quite a bit. But what exactly went wrong in the passing game?
I think it started up front with the offensive line. I don't think that Dak ever really felt secure up front. Those guys, Nate talked about the continuity or the lack thereof. We saw that at the offensive tackle position. Also, the interior pressure came from those guys running stunts, and then also the second level, third level guys bringing pressure. Dak wasn't allowed to set his feet. When he did set his feet, he was inaccurate. He just obviously owned up to that. Overall, they just have to be better. Blocking, receiving, they had drops that we can't have in crucial positions. So overall, everybody just has to go back and watch film and reanalyze what happened.
Yeah, we just have to make sure the offensive line is secure and a little bit more consistent. We have to make some plays for Dak. He's coming off of like a 2-week layoff, so he was a little bit rusty. We could have made some more plays for him. And like you said, he could have made that fourth and there to, I think it was CeeDee Lamb, maybe it was Mamari, but if he'd have made that, the game probably would have looked different, but our offensive line has to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, and there's plenty more to hit on throughout the loss. And, of course, Coach McCarthy, Dak Prescott, and everybody involved going to hit on that throughout the week. But when we come back, we're going to put this one in the rearview mirror and take a look forward of how the Cowboys could have more success in Week 10.
Cowboys OT was brought to you by Geico, 85 years of savings and service. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys' 6-game win streak comes to a close thanks to the Denver Broncos, 30-16 over the Dallas Cowboys. They've now won 7 straight dating back to 1995 against America's team. And the Cowboys have certainly a lot to look forward to because, one, you get the bad taste out of your mouth, and you got a home game on the horizon, Week 10 against the Atlanta Falcons. Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback. Barry, I'll start with you. How do you get that? How do you ensure this doesn't happen again next week?
Well, as a team, you're going to get together and you're going to sit there and you're going to watch this film. And after you get through watching the film, taking the corrections, because you're going to take some lumps out there. The coach is going to let you know what you did right and what you did wrong. Then after that, you throw the tape away. You throw it away and let it be known that this is just a bump in the road and that we cannot keep taking these opponents lightly. They've done a good job of it so far this season of taking it game by game, play by play. But these guys have got to throw this film away and move forward and get ready for Atlanta.
Yeah, that's it. I think you do exactly what Dak did. We saw Dak today in that post-game interview own up to it. He owned it. He didn't make any excuses. He didn't allow the media to make excuses. Look, I didn't play well enough. I didn't do what I needed to do to contribute to make this team have victory. Everybody has to do that. Everybody has to analyze the film, like Barry said, recognize what they did wrong, and then go out there and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Good teams will lose a couple games in a row. They'll hit a skid. You'll have those bumps in the road. Great teams will put it behind you, put it in the rearview mirror, and learn from your mistakes. And that's exactly what we're going to find out. What are the Cowboys? Are they a good team or are they a great team? They're still first in the NFC East and still plenty forward to look to. For Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks for joining us this week on Cowboys OT.